Hey, it's Tree, and I am back for another video. Today I wanted to talk about monthly art challenges. I've participated in many over the years, and sometimes there's controversies, but a lot of people have talked about the controversies, so I probably won't talk about them much because I don't like talking about drama, and this place isn't a place for drama. So I guess you can Google it if you want to know all of the drama. But I'm just gonna glance over that. Because like I said, I don't want to talk about that on this channel. I just want to talk about me and my art. So I think the first art challenge I've ever done, like a monthly one, was Inktober in 2015, and I managed to complete all days. I don't have all of the art anymore because some of the art was associated with my ex and I didn't want to keep it because of that. But my Inktober was very simple. Very much I used mostly a pen, like a random black pen, and then maybe a Crayola or Sharpie marker, I think. And that was about it. I used a sketchbook, obviously, and did it all traditionally that year. If I ever bled through onto the next page, I'd have to come up with how to cover up the bleed through the next day. So that's basically how I did it. Pen and ink. Eventually I bought my first brush pen that year. I don't remember what kind of brush pen it was. But eventually I got a brush pen for this challenge, and it's one of those where you could just squeeze out the ink. But very much random pen and then random brush pen. And it was all traditional. The next challenge that I ended up trying to do was Huevember, and basically what I did was I sketched the stuff traditionally, and then I would go in, take a picture, and then color it digitally. I think at this point, no, either at this point or the next year, I finally got my first tablet, which was a Wacom Bamboo Splash tablet. So I might have used a tablet to color these, I don't remember. But I only completed 4 days of this, so there's like 2 yellows and 2 kind of orange colors, and that's it. And that's all I did for 2015. Not very ambitious, but it did the job for me. The next year, in 2016, I participated in Inktober again, but my challenge for myself that year was to basically come up with characters and then make an ongoing story. But at that time I wasn't confident in my writing, and I made too many characters, and I didn't know what to do every day, because I didn't plan anything. But I did draw with ink every day, and I believe I used my same brush pen from the previous year, but also I was using a new brush pen that had like gray ink, and at that point I had bought some black ink in a jar and then red and gold ink in a jars. So I was using those, and also maybe some water, so that way I could dilute the black ink into different shades of gray, but I didn't do that very often. I think I also used a bit of some gray watercolor, but again, I did the whole challenge traditionally this year, and yeah, I drew every day, and that's all there is to it. Not related to any challenge that I know of. In April of 2016, before I graduated, I challenged myself to make a very short comic. I took 2 characters that I drew sometime in 2010 maybe, and I decided to make a story out of them, and this comic ended up being 5 pages, and I just wanted to see if I could make a comic in a short amount of time with a short story. And I think I used colored pencil and the same brush pen with inks, and that's all there is to that challenge. I don't think you could really call that a challenge. I also challenged myself to make a animatic, and I ended up doing that. That one's very sketchy, and I think I'm going to upload it to Tree Sprite Archive eventually. So on to 2017. That year I decided to participate in Mermaid, but again I didn't complete Mermaid. I'm just seeing like 3 pictures in my drive related to Mermaid, and I think that's all I ended up doing. That year I also got into doing Art Fight, so I created a bunch of pieces for Art Fight. I have another video talking about my Art Fight experience, but that's just another thing I did in 2017. And again, that year I did Inktober again. I drew with ink every day. I even created more drawings than I needed to. I remember that. And I used a brush pen. I think I ended up throwing away that brush pen eventually this year. And I just used a paintbrush with the ink bottles. And then I did it traditionally, of course, and I bought another type of like dip pen, but the dip pen had like refillable parts. Again, I don't know what these pens are called, and I still had that gray brush pen. And that red ink was getting a little old, so I think I threw away the red ink too. December that year, I challenged myself to paint a couple pieces for my friends, and then I made everyone a Christmas card. But again, that's not really a challenge that everyone does. And I also did that for Valentine's Day too. I made Valentine's Day cards with watercolor and this doily thing that I just traced out and then just drew the cards and watercolored them. But again, that's not a challenge that everyone does. I basically just had no money and was being a cheapskate. But yeah, lots of drawings for our Art Fight and Inktober that year. In 2018, I challenged myself to make an animation meme, and I did that, and then I made a short animation animatic for myself that year. And that year I challenged myself to do 24 hourlies in February, and I finished that. And I also tried to participate in Mermaid again, but I remember not finishing that one. I did that one all traditional as well, so that could have played a hand in it, or I just ran out of ideas. I also participated in Art Fights, so there's a bunch of Art Fight drawings. I don't know if you'd call this a challenge, but people were redrawing the main 6 of My Little Pony because G5 was supposed to come out, so I did a bunch of drawings related to that. And on the My Little Pony arena, they had this drawing challenge, so I created a piece for that. And then I participated in Inktober again, and I completed it all 31 days traditionally, and again, I think I used the same supplies as 2017. But this time I used a different sketchbook than the one I had been using for the several years. I think I have a tour somewhere on my channel for that sketchbook and the sketchbook for this year's Inktober. In 2019, I started sketching for another animatic or an animation meme, but I never finished it. I'll probably upload that to Tree Sprite Archive eventually too. Warrior Cats of the Day. I think I participated twice. And then again, I created Christmas cards for my family and printed them out, but that's still not really a challenge, I don't think. Again, I participated in Mermaid and did not finish Mermaid because I get bored with Mermaid, apparently. But I think I did more drawings this year than the previous year. But I'm not seeing any Inktober drawings for that year, so I don't think I participated in Inktober that year. 2020, made some more Christmas cards. And I think in either 2019 or 2020, I participated in Junicorn, which is where you draw a unicorn for every day. But in my 2020 folder, I'm not really seeing any Inktober or anything like that. I think I stopped participating in challenges starting in 2020. But I did participate in a design in 2020, and 2021 I participated in the design again, and I did Art Fight again this year. And I don't think I'll be doing Inktober again this year. As I stated before, there was a lot of drama with Inktober, and I think that I just was soured from art challenges after that, I guess you could say. One of the things that happened was that Jake Parker copyrighted the term Inktober, and I realized that I didn't like the idea of doing challenges that other people created, because something like that could happen and then I wouldn't be able to keep my art up anymore. And it's just better for me to create my own stuff. And I also wanted to start getting into comic work and junk, so I just stopped participating. Another thing is that Alfonso Dunn, I'm gonna say accused because I don't want to get into trouble, but he accused Jake Parker of plagiarizing his work, allegedly. Again, just to be safe, allegedly. But that definitely made me realize some things about my work, and that I felt like doing art challenges was taking too much time away from my other projects if I was just doing art challenges every year. I very much like the idea of creating my own story for Inktober in 2016, because I feel like that's a good way to do the challenges and also keep doing my original work. But yeah, I feel like art challenges take away a lot of time to other projects I could be doing. And again, I just didn't like the controversies, and that's why I stopped doing art challenges. And a lot of this video is just me talking about my history with art challenges, but I feel like this video is long enough. That's why I'm just glancing over why I stopped doing them. Anyway, it very much is a personal thing, and I don't blame you if you continue to do art challenges. I just personally won't be doing them anymore because I feel like I could be working on my own projects. Other challenges I've participated in since 2019 was like NaNoWriMo, but I feel like that's an actual helpful challenge because I was working on my writing project and getting writing done. But hopefully you enjoyed listening to me ramble, and that's the end of this video. Subscribe if you want to listen to me ramble some more.